Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and turning on the news. The anchor speaks perfect Latin. The weather report shows the provinces of Britannia, Gaul, and Nova Roma, what we call New York. The year is 2025, and the Roman Empire never fell. Its golden eagles still fly from Edinburgh to Los Angeles, from Morocco to the Black Sea. This is not science fiction. One single moment in history, one assassination that never happened, could have made this reality. Most people think Rome collapsed in 476 AD, when the last emperor, a boy named Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by a Germanic warlord. Historians call it the fall of Rome. But what if that fall never actually happened? Today, you're going to see exactly how our world would look in 2025 if the Western Roman Empire survived, grew stronger, and eventually swallowed the entire planet. And trust me, some parts will shock you. Let's go back to the real turning point almost no one talks about, the year 457 AD. A new emperor rises in the West, Majorian. He's young, brilliant, and ruthless. In our timeline, Majorian was assassinated in 461 by his own generals after a string of stunning victories. But in this alternate world, that dagger never finds his back. Majorian lives. He crushes the Vandals in North Africa, retakes the richest grain provinces, and refills Rome's empty treasury with African gold and wheat. Suddenly, Rome is rich again. The army is paid. The legions stop melting away. By 472, Majorian's successor, Emperor Anthemius, finishes the job. Carthage becomes Roman again. Sicily, Spain, and southern Gaul are secure. The barbarian kingdoms inside the empire are slowly Romanized instead of the other way around. There is no fall in 476. The boy Romulus Augustulus grows up, becomes a senator, and dies of old age. Rome simply keeps going.
Now fast forward 100 years. While our real Europe sank into the Dark Ages, plague, illiteracy, collapsed trade, this Rome never stops building. Roman engineers still have the secret of concrete that lasts 2,000 years. Aqueducts keep growing taller and longer. By the year 700 AD, they invent pressurized water systems. Indoor plumbing reaches even the poor. Roman law schools never close. Latin remains the language of science and power. Around 850 AD, something insane happens. A Greek engineer in Constantinople named Hero the Younger rediscovers Hero of Alexandria's old steam device, the aeolipile. But this time, the empire has the money and metals to make it useful. The first primitive steam engines start pumping water out of mines. Coal production explodes. By 950 AD, we see the first steam-powered factories on the Tiber. Welcome to the Roman Industrial Revolution, 800 years early. By the year 1000, the Eastern and Western empires formally reunite under one emperor in Rome. There is no great schism between Catholic and Orthodox churches. The Pope is simply the emperor's chief priest. No religious wars, no crusades. Instead, all that energy and wealth goes into ships, roads, and science. And that sets the stage for everything that comes next. The Roman discovery of America, steam tanks on battlefields, moon colonies under the SPQR flag, and an emperor in 2025 who still wears the purple. But we'll get to that. First, let's watch Rome conquer the New World centuries ahead of schedule.
Our Roman provinces. The Aztecs and Incas are conquered with steel, gunpowder, and Roman discipline. Tecnoctilon becomes the provincial capital, Nova Roma Mexica. By 1600, the population of the empire exceeds 300 million. Gold and silver from Potosi and California flow straight into the imperial treasury. There is no Britain, no France, no Germany. Just provinces rebelling from time to time, the same way Texas or Scotland might grumble today. The Renaissance as we know it never happens. Michelangelo and Leonardo are still incredible, but they work exclusively for the emperor. All art glorifies Rome. Fast forward to the 1700s. A philosopher in Lutetia, Paris, publishes a forbidden book about rights of the citizen. Within months, the Gallic Revolt explodes. It is the bloodier than our French and American revolutions combined. Steam tanks roll through the streets. After 10 years and 20 million dead, the emperor grants a constitution, but only Latin-speaking males can vote. Slavery is finally abolished in 1853, not out of kindness, but because steam engines are cheaper than human backs. The 20th century arrives, and with it, the most terrifying wars humanity has ever seen. Because there are no separate nations, every major conflict is a Roman civil war. The Germanian War of 1914 to 1918 kills 60 million. The Second Civil War in the 1940s introduces jet fighters wearing eagle insignia fighting other eagle-wearing jet fighters above the Alps. Nuclear weapons are invented in 1945 by imperial scientists in Alexandria and immediately classified secret of the emperor. No one dares use them.
And then, the modern world. The year 2025. The capital is still Rome, population 28 million, a single city stretching from Ostia to Naples. The current emperor, Augustus the 24th, rules from a palace that makes Versailles look like a cottage. Latin is the only global language. English, Spanish, Mandarin, all gone, replaced by a living, evolved Latin you could almost understand if you took high school classes. Currency, the golden aureus, backed by actual gold and blockchain since 2010. Technology is ahead in some ways, behind in others. We have permanent bases on the Moon and Mars since the 1970s, but there is no Apple, no Google, no TikTok. All internet traffic passes through imperial servers. Privacy does not exist. Your smart toga reports your heart rate to the Praetorian AI. Healthcare and education are free and world-class, but only if you swear the oath of loyalty every year. But here's what will really keep you up tonight. There is no United States, no democracy as we know it, no free internet, no rock and roll, no hip-hop, no memes making fun of the government, because the government is still the Senate and people of Rome. Criticize the emperor on social media, and the Praetorian AI flags you before you hit post. Political parties? Banned since the time of Tiberius 2.0. Elections exist, but only for local magistrates, and every candidate must be approved by the imperial censor. Freedom of religion? Technically, yes, as long as your God recognizes the divine emperor as the ultimate Pontifex Maximus. The Colosseum was rebuilt in 2031 and now hosts weekly reenactments with drones, holograms, and real prisoners. Ratings are through the roof. Gladiators are volunteers who fight for citizenship. Losers disappear. The crowd still gives the thumbs down emoji. There is almost no crime, almost no poverty, almost no unemployment. Life expectancy is 94. Every citizen gets a villa, a basic income in Urdes, and a neural education implant at age 7. Sounds perfect until you realize you can never leave the empire.
Your passport is valid everywhere because everywhere is the empire. Want to move to Sydney?
Fill out Form SPQR47B21 in triplicate and wait 12 years. And the scariest part? Most people in this world are happy, genuinely happy. They've never known anything else. They look at our 2025 with wars, inflation, political chaos, cancel culture, and they laugh. You barbarians tear yourselves apart every 4 years for freedom, they say. We solved that 2,000 years ago. So here's the final question I want you to answer in the comments right now. If you woke up tomorrow in this eternal Roman Empire, advanced, orderly, glorious, safe, but with zero political freedom, would you stay? Or would you fight to bring back our messy, broken, but free world? Team, I'd swear loyalty to Augustus 24th and live like a god? Or team, give me liberty or give me death? Drop your team in the comments. I read every single one. This scenario isn't just fantasy. Historians agree. Majorian surviving in 461 was genuinely the closest Rome ever came to pulling it off. One dagger, one moment, and everything changes. If your mind is properly blown right now, do 3 things. 1. Smash that like button. Let's get this to 100K likes and I'll make a full 1-hour version. 2. Subscribe and hit the bell because next video drops in 48 hours. What if Germany actually won World War I? The world map you see will haunt you. 3. Tell me in the comments which what if you want next. Dinosaurs never went extinct? Napoleon won? The internet was never invented? Thank you for watching. Ave, true citizen. And who knows, maybe in another timeline, you're watching this in Latin right now. See you in the next one.